Hi, and welcome to the Anime Recap. Today I will share with you the best soccer anime of the year, Blue Lock. If you would like to see more, like and comment what anime I should do next. Back at the Blue Lock facility, training finally begins and Isagi is already over. All of his team members exceed him in skills in almost every aspect of the game. He's so average when it comes to his skills compared to the others. The very first night, he can't sleep thinking about his lack of ambition and skills and decides to head out for a late-night practice session. Isagi comes across Bachita, who wants to practice with him too, so both of them head to their assigned field. During practice, Isagi once again asks Bachita the actual reason why he passed to him during the first test. And this time Bachita tells him that just like all the famous players in the world, Messi, Ronaldo, he too has a monster in him that tells him what to do during the game. And it just so happened that the monster told him to pass to Isagi at that moment. Bachita tells Isagi that since he knew he had a monster in him too, he passed the ball. And Isagi did as he predicted and eliminated Kira. Isagi wonders if he really has a monster in him. Suddenly an announcement from Ego sends them back to their rooms. Ego says that their rankings have been updated and that they were now ready for the next stage of the tournament. Isagi is now ranked 274. The man then explains that the whole facility is divided into 25 teams, a total of 275 players after the elimination of one from each of the teams earlier on. If the players perform well and improve their rank, they'll get better facilities at Blue Lock, and the lower-ranked players will have to suffer their consequences. Also, now, the teams would be facing an actual game. The games would be played among 5 teams, and each team would be playing against all the other teams. The 2 best teams would be safe from elimination, while the lowest 3 would be removed from the facility, losing the possibility to play for Japan ever again. But among the losing teams, the top scorers would be able to stay elsewhere. A really arrogant player named Itachi is being interviewed on his return back to Japan. However, the player seems to have no interest in domestic football and just wants to head back to Europe as soon as possible. After abruptly leaving the interview, Itachi stumbles upon the press conference being held by the Japan Football Association announcing the Blue Lock facility as its new way of finding the next best striker for Japan and the world. Upon hearing this, Eshi is intrigued and decides to stick around to see what the program leads to. Back in the facility, Team Z is confused as to how they can play as a team since all of them are strikers. They decide to play rock, paper, scissors to decide who gets to play as forward. And Isagi wins the first round, meaning that he'll be the striker in the first game. Their first game is against Team X, and the game will be 45 minutes long. They need to win the game upon calculation. If they lost more than one game, they would naturally lose pace with the second spot and would be eliminated. So they had to go into every game to win it. The game soon begins, and just as Ego had planned, all the players from Team Z are battling amongst themselves to be the top scorer of the team. They seem to have no interest in winning and are only concerned about scoring their own goals. It's the same for Team X, and almost all the players have swarmed in at one place, battling it out for the ball. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the top player of Team X, Baro, steps up and steals. While all the players are distracted, Baro puts the ball into the net, putting the score to 1-0, and suddenly Team X gets their act together. They seem to all have an instinctive connection and decide to support Baro. The team plays fluid football, and unlike Team Z, they coordinate their attacks one by one. Baro and his team members destroy Team Z's defense, and end up scoring 5 goals even before the 42-minute. Bachita is clearly tired after running his legs out and tells Isagi that all they need is 1 goal to settle their nerves. He explains that he'll make a long pass and Isagi can go ahead and score. The goal, Isagi agrees, and straight from kickoff. He makes the run toward the goal. The pass from Bachita is perfect as well, but Baro seems to have read their game and appears in defense right in front of Isagi. Isagi is confused as to what to do. He doesn't want to make a bad pass and lose this good move, nor can he move ahead. He scopes around and sees his teammates Raichi and Kigami making a run beside him. Raichi is free and yet Isagi makes the pass instinctively to Kigami, who scores a wonder goal from a fair. The game ends 5-1. Vado tells Isagi that not being able to shoot as a striker makes empathetic straight to the poor guy's face. And even Raichi is pissed that Isagi didn't pass. Isn't really right after all, since he keeps mentioning Messi and Ronaldo. And yet neither of those players has won a World Cup. Isagi interrupts and states that all they need to win games is to turn their chaotic game style, aka zero, into fluid gameplay. One Ego appears just then and states that they might be onto something. He explains that individual skills as well as being an all-rounder is important when it comes to a game like soccer. He also announces the results of the other games, where Team V obliterated Team Y 8-0. So they have to pick up their pace fast. In preparation for the next match, Team Z finally decides to get their heads straight and discuss their special abilities so that they can use this to enhance the way they play as a team. While all the other players have one special skill or other, like Raichi has the best shooting skills. Kigami has the best left footer, mid-range shot. Imo has great speed and technique. Bachita is a great dribbler of the ball, but Isagi has nothing that he can put his finger on. Only he and Chiki are unable to state their special talent. Quan tells them that's fine for now and also explains the new way to play. They will alternate turns playing as the striker and find rhythm in their game. The team then heads to practice. After practice, Isagi heads to get dinner very late. He meets Kigami there, who thanks him for passing the ball to him in the game earlier, and also decides to share his steak with him. Turns out that goal scorers get tons of good food based on the number of goals, and Kigami wanted to give half of the steak to him since half of his goals. Credit goes to Isagi as the next game soon arrives, and this time, Team Z is pitted against Team Y, led by their main man, Okawa, who's renowned to be a fierce striker.